Women also tend to not take advantage of employer-sponsored retirement plans at the same rate as men. And we're more likely to contribute less to the plan when we do participate. The earlier we begin saving and the more we contribute on a regular basis, the more our nest eggs can potentially increase through compounded growth. So when you fail to participate in your employer's plan or you don't save it at an adequate level, you could be losing out on the growth that savings could generate over decades. So this hypothetical example shows that an account value may differ depending on when you start saving for retirement. Say you started saving at age 25 with a $100 monthly contribution for 35 years. Assuming a 6% annual rate of return, that account may accumulate to $142,000. But if you waited just 4 years to start investing, that total drops to $107,000. It's a considerable difference and a great reason to start saving for retirement sooner than later. And if you're not sure about how much you should be saving to reach your retirement goals, it's very possible that your plan has retirement calculators available to you on their website for you to determine those amounts and save properly. We make up a significant part of the workforce, but just 45% participate in a retirement plan. Women are also likely to have part-time employment that doesn't offer retirement benefit. It's true that you can invest for retirement without an employer-sponsored plan, but ask yourself how likely you are to choose retirement investments on your own, and how likely are you to make regular contributions to those types of investments. And do those investments offer the potential for tax-deferred compounding growth? It's hard to save money on our own if we're going to take that money to the bank and put it somewhere in some type of investment. It's so much easier to do it within our employer-sponsored plan. One of the reasons that saving for retirement is such an important topic for us is that statistics show we tend to have longer retirements than men. Also, data from the 2010 U.S. Census shows that there are more than twice as many women than men aged 85 or older. That means women need retirement income for a longer period of time. We're living longer, so we're going to need more money. We started out this discussion by asking whether saving for retirement is different for women than it is for men. The facts tell us that women may be saving less for retirement because of lower lifetime earnings and less time in the workforce, whether due to caring for children or other family members. Women also invest more conservatively than men, which could indicate that they may not be investing appropriately for retirement income needs. And women tend to live longer than men, which means that, again, we will need more retirement income for a longer time than men typically do. For many of us, saving for retirement is a joint venture with a spouse or a partner. So how does your relationship affect the way that you invest for retirement? Is one of you the designated financial decision maker? In other words, do you leave all the homework and choices to your spouse or partner, or are you doing it all yourself? Also, do you share the same retirement income goals and risk tolerance? Is one of you more or less conservative than the other? If so, how does that affect your joint planning? Our retirement income needs should help determine how we invest. Do you agree on a couple of your income goals and your approach to investing? And finally, do you know where you stand financially in the event of the death of a spouse or a divorce? If you're leaving all the decisions to your spouse or your partner, could you take charge of retirement planning if you had to? Should you be more engaged in that process now? Something important to think about. They're difficult but important questions, and answering them is critical to being a smart and confident investor. So far, we've discussed the challenges women face in saving for retirement, including lower average wages and time spent away from the workforce. And we've looked at some of the questions you might want to think about when it comes to your relationship and retirement planning. Now let's look at some of the ways you can take charge of your financial future. Your employer-sponsored retirement plan. Whatever your financial and personal situation, your employer's plan can make it a lot easier for you to reach your retirement income goals. It offers tax-deferred savings, which means you don't pay any income taxes on the money you invest or the money your investments earn until you make a withdrawal, which is usually at retirement. So more of your money is working harder for you for a longer period of time. Your plan also makes saving for retirement automatically. It can be hard to remember to set aside money on your own because your contribution is automatically deducted from your paycheck. You don't have to worry about it. You're paying yourself first. And participating in your plan makes saving for retirement a priority because you're paying yourself first. We all know that saving for retirement is important, but we don't always translate that knowledge into action. Your plan enables you to do that, again, by paying yourself first. We mentioned that nearly everyone recognizes the importance of saving for retirement, but exactly why is it so important? And why is it so important for women in particular? Most financial planners will tell you you need about 70% of your pre-retirement income to maintain a similar lifestyle once you're in retirement. For many of us, Social Security benefits will provide some of that income. Pension income may be another source, but a significant portion will come from your own pocket. However, the statistics that women are less often covered by a private retirement plan, they're also more dependent on Social Security income for a longer time, and they're more likely to earn less over their lifetime, which can have an impact on their personal savings. The bottom line is that Social Security benefits don't always match our income needs, and most people can't rely on pension benefits. Women need other retirement income sources, and your employer's plan can definitely help. Wherever you are in your journey to retirement, you can take the next step today towards a comfortable future. If you're not already enrolled in your employer's plan, jump in that plan today if you're able to do that. Talk to your human resources person. Get the forms, enroll online, something. If you're already enrolled and you're not making the maximum contribution, think about increasing the amount you set aside from each paycheck. After a few months, you probably won't even notice a difference in your take-home pay. If you're fortunate enough to have an employer match and you're not saving up to the maximum that your employer matches, consider increasing your contribution to at least the maximum that they match up to. Take full advantage of that money that they're willing to give you for your retirement. It really helps grow your account that much more quickly and helps you to reach your retirement goals more quickly as well. If you're already contributing and comfortable with your contribution amount, take a fresh look at your investment mix to make sure that your mix of investments has the right balance of risk and potential return for your retirement income goals and your personal risk tolerance. It's important to evaluate our investment strategy on an annual basis. A lot of people will do that after the first of the year, or maybe on our birthdays. We're a year older. Should we still be investing the same way? As Oprah Winfrey states, the big secret in life is that there is no big secret. Whatever your goal, you can get there if you're willing to work. There's no big secret to retirement planning, and your employer's plan makes it a lot easier for you to reach your goals. Here's a few tools that you can use to help educate yourself. Go on the internet. Google different websites to educate yourself. Read some financial articles. One of the greatest resources is your plan's website. Your plan's website will have retirement planning tools, maybe a gap analysis to help you figure out how much you need to be saving for retirement and how much you are saving right now. There may be a gap there that you need to fill so that you can increase your contributions. How will you be spending down your 401k or your retirement money once you do reach retirement age? Maybe there's a planning tool that will help you with that spend down feature. Which money should you use first? You want to spend that money to the best tax advantage available to you. So use your plan's website. Take advantage of those tools that are there to continue to educate yourself. Contact them. if you have any questions. That concludes our presentation today on an action plan for women. Are there any questions that you might have for me today?
Thank you, Deborah. That was all very insightful information. Now, as we wait for questions to filter in, I would like to take a minute to let everyone know that our educational materials are also available on social media. We encourage you to stay up to date on the latest retirement plan news and events through our Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and we are also recently on YouTube. We will now start addressing some of the questions that have been filtering in. Please remember that if you have any questions, you can submit them using the Q&A tool on the webinar menu. And as always, for any plan-specific questions, you can always reach out to your dedicated service team here at Pensionmark. We'll just wait a few moments to allow people to send in some questions. All right, doesn't look like anyone has any questions so far. So we would like to thank Deborah for joining us today, and that will conclude our question and answer period. If anyone has any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to your dedicated service team here at Pensionmark. I thank you all for joining us today, and Deborah, I would like to thank you for taking the time to present today. This now concludes the webinar. Thank you.